What's going on, people? So here I am again, knocking out that video that I said moments ago that I was going to do today. So before we get all into this, when was the Citrin and the Cloud White release? That was the end of September, right? Yes, the end of September, because I remember they came out like right before my sister's birthday. It was like that weekend, and one release was like a Saturday, the other one was a Monday. Very strange to me, but whatever. Adidas does what Adidas does. And so one of the things that Adidas does apparently once in a while is not send you your shoes because they mess up on their warehouse inventory or whatever excuse they like to give out. Because I put in, well, I didn't put in an order necessarily. I won a raffle through their little raffle system for the Cloud White. It took a week or so and they finally shipped, got those, did that whole review. Maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't. If you want to click a link, there will be one somewhere across the top. Go for it. Do it later though, because you're watching this, okay? Come back to that. Also, I've gotten a raffle for the Citrins, right? And for whatever reason, I waited and waited and like, oh yeah, well, here's a tracking number, but you know, there's an issue with the warehouse and something about their new system and blah, 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 right? A lot of responses that felt like nothing. You know, I'm out here and I'm giving you some money. I'm just off asking, hey, can you give me a little update? And it kind of played out like this shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like if this is Adidas and that's me, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? They're like, here's this middle finger. That's what we got for you. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's not very helpful, but okay. And so moving on, eventually they're like, well, now it's been so long, we're going to just cancel this order because something has gone completely wrong. And I was like, sure, whatever, dude. I've moved on because I figured at this point, I saw that these prices weren't really like super high or anything. So I'm like, you know what? That often means there's going to be like restocks and things like that. So I'll deal with this later. And actually there were a handful of restocks over the last like week or two, I think. In the Adidas, on their little app thing, and through a couple different UK retailers for both pairs, the Cloud Whites and the Citrins. So I, on the other hand, decided to go another route, and I went through, for the first time ever actually, went through StockX, right? What is all this crap here? Okay, so yeah, so I decided I was just going to go through StockX, right? It ended up being a little more expensive in some ways, only because of the processing fee and the shipping. So when I buy through Adidas, there's no processing fee and there's no shipping, so the order was just $220. This order came out to, I want to say it was $240, something like that. So still not very bad, maybe close to $250. I don't really remember. But the shoes themselves, I put in a bid for $215, and I was like, because I wasn't paying over retail, right? You know, so I was like, you know what, let's put this in for $215 and let's see what happens. Then I wake up in the morning and somebody had accepted it. So I was like, all right, cool, let's do that. Well, I guess it had already been done. They got the money pretty much instantly, sent the shoes very quickly, and you know, they arrived at my mom's house. Mom sent them here, and now I have them just in time to do this review thing and all that stuff. So let's go ahead and get on into these now that you've got that story that you didn't necessarily need. Alright, there's that StockX thing. Snap a pic, show us your verified authentic tag, upload to Instagram, hashtag StockX, get featured, brag to your friends. We'll see. I mean, you guys are watching this video. You've seen that I got the shoes, right? And so here, okay, $244. Alright, so I was kind of right in the middle there. Hopefully there's no information on there that's like mine specifically. Oh, there is. Address is on there. So maybe I'll just have to blur that out. Hopefully I remember. But anyways, let's open these shoes, see what's going on in here. Hopefully everything's on the up and up. There's that StockX tag and whatnot. Okay. Well, that's not closing properly. This box has seen better days. Like, it's got this big kind of dent thing going, but I get it, kind of, sort of. I mean, it went from some warehouse to some dude's house or woman's house, and then it went from that person's house to StockX, from StockX to mom's house, from mom's house all the way over to here. So it's kind of understandable that things aren't going to arrive in the best of shape. Besides, it's just a box, right? So that being that, shoes are out here, things are looking on the up and up. So with that being said, You know what that means, right? Of course you do. That means that it is review time on this right here. The Yeezy Boost 350 V2 in the Citrin colorway. So, let's talk about them, shall we? Oh, and there's that StockX tag over here somewhere for those of you who want to see that. Yeah, look, verified authentic, right? Except for when it's not, because that does happen. Anyway, so, do this the same as we normally do. Let's start it, shall we? Across the bottom on the outsole, nothing too crazy going on down there. It's like a very light kind of, almost, it's not quite a gum bottom color. It's almost like gum and peachish, kind of. It's weird, honestly. It's a little weird, but I don't hate it. I just don't care either way for it, honestly. It does nothing for me, but in some ways that can be a good thing. Moving past that, oh, and of course you've got that strip part that goes from the back to the front. For whatever reasons, gives it that little sumo wrestler style thing going on. And then you got the midsole here, right? So that is some kind of, it's a hard color to say on a lot of these, because when you look at them, they're not just your standard, oh, it's white or it's off-white or it's black or whatever. These, it's kind of like a light tannish mixed in there with a beigeish color. It's kind of hard to explain. Maybe it'll show up fairly decently. And then moving on to the upper, of course, this is a very standard upper on these, right? So first off, as you've seen on most Yeezys, these are a a prime knit upper, right? So it's not the most stretchy right out of the box, it isn't. But if you give it some time, it will be. And we'll get into that. Am I going to do an on foot? Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Yeah, I got the camera thing set up. Yeah, so on the on foot part, I'll get all into that. So we'll skip over that for now. But looking back at this, right, looking at the upper here, it's got some decent coloring going on to me. It looks like a bit of gray in there with the same color that I described, kind of like a grayish, lightish green, weird kind of color, mixed in with the same color that you see on the midsole. Hopefully these colors are showing up fairly decently. I'm not quite sure, because when I hold the camera, or when I hold the shoe up in the camera, I can't really see what it's doing. And then past that, all this, the rest of this upper is the same style that you generally would see on something like the Statics. Now, one of the last releases I did, I think it was the Cloud Whites. I noticed that on those, there was a slight difference if you split the shoe down the middle. And this kind of still has that same sort of vibe going on, where on one side the coloring, on this side, the inside side, the medial side, the colors look like they're, on the upper, look like they're predominantly matching with the midsole, with this other color, this other greenish color kind of slid in there, here and there. But then when you look at the other side, especially at the top, it looks like it's mostly some kind of a more greenish color. Up there you can kind of see that. It looks like it's more of a greenish color. And then down at the bottom, this looks like it seems to be a little more white at the front of the toe area. And then on the back, it's a little bit more of an even split with that other color and the midsole color. So I get that maybe that's not quite coming out right, but once you look at the shoe, you'll kind of see exactly what I'm talking about. As you go from left to right all around this thing, the coloring it's a little all over the place. It's got, and I'd heard that from other people mentioning that you look at this and you see a bit of like the sesame color, you got almost like the Lundmark color in there. This is almost close to like the butter color perhaps. There's a lot of stuff going on in these basically on the upper. And then the strip here has a very greenish tint to me. And the other thing about shoes like this is different cameras, different softwares for encoding, different people doing different levels of editing. They're all, not all, but they're often going to come out looking different. Similar to when the clays came out, and those, you could watch 3 videos and they look all different, right? And that's kind of what's going on with this. It's likely going to show up fairly weird for most of you, but hopefully I can get some pictures in there to show you some up close shots, and maybe that'll kind of bring everything home and let you see exactly what I'm trying to say. But basically, just if you can take anything away from it, the thing you can take is that there are a lot of colors going on this, a lot of designs being switched up and all that. But overall, it's actually pretty nice. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's one of the best Yeezy releases or anything like that, but it's pretty solid. I like it. And so then in the inside, you have you can kind of barely see that, the Yeezy Boost, well, the Adidas Yeezy text in there. It's a little, what is that, like a plant logo? I've never been 100% sure. But overall, I am liking these. I am. I honestly didn't think I would like them as much as I do, but I think that's because I didn't really get all the details, because I didn't really watch a whole lot of reviews, probably because a lot of people didn't buy them. But anyways, and then you've got the standard ropey style laces on there, which I do like. Even though for these, it's once you've tied them, that's it. You don't have to like mess with them again. I just like that those laces are the way that they are. So let's go ahead and do that on foot. You know, I had absolutely no reason to cut away for this portion of the video. I could have talked right through it because I've worn enough of these to know exactly how they fit. But for whatever reason, I did not realize that in the moment, so here we are. There's the videos. Let's talk sizing. Alright, right here, right? The Citrins, like any other Yeezy, or at least any other 350V2, because that's all I have, true to size, right? I buy 9.5 in pretty much all my Adidas shoes, minus those 3MCs, because those are skate shoes and they just tend to fit a little big, so you go down a little bit and everything's fine. These, I bought a 9.5 in these because I buy 9.5 in my Ultra Boost and the NMDs, all that stuff. And it fits just fine to me, right? I side with true to size on these. Some people like to say to go up, but a lot of that has to do with like the fact that these do fit a little snug. So, I mean, if you like the looser fit or whatever, sure, that you might want to consider that. But if you plan on wearing them regularly, they'll loosen up a bit. I bought a 10 in my blue tints, and honestly, unnecessary, right? So these, I bought the 9.5, I just wore them, as you see in the pictures, videos, whatever. Everything's good. So that's what I'm going to suggest to you. Now, past that though, the comfort. I mean, there's nothing to really say about these that hasn't already been said. The Yeezys, the 350V2s, super comfortable shoe, right? Is it worth the money though? That's kind of a question, and I can't answer that for you because, you know, we have different lives, right? Like, you live your life the way you live your life. You value the things that you value for the amount that you value them. To me, I don't know. I buy them because I'm not trying to sound conceited, but I can afford them and I like them, so I buy them. It's very simple, right? I don't think that they're completely worth the money. I'll be honest on saying that because, I mean, for the price of one of these, I could get like 2 pairs of Ultra Boost, maybe even 3 if you catch the right sale, and be good, right? So just take that for what it's worth. I'm not saying these aren't like what people make them out to be, but you gotta kind of just be realistic and think like, is it worth it? I don't know. Tell me what you think. But past that, I can't really say anything else about these. Everything that I've covered in the previous videos still holds to be true. I really like the sock style upper. It gives you a nice comfortable feel when you're walking around. You don't have to worry about the creasing and all that stuff like in certain other shoes. And they're pretty light, so you got a bit of breathability in there, which if you're going to wear these around all day, I mean, I don't know how they're going to play out in the winter, but past that, if you're not in one of those kind of climates, probably not a huge issue for you. So I could definitely see people wanting to wear them. Again, the price though, I mean, these are $220? Yeah, $220. That's a fair amount. I mean, you gotta really want something to spend that kind of money on it, right? Right? Anyways, so that's gonna be it for me. I think I've covered everything I need to cover in this, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. The video should have circled through at least once, maybe twice by now, and that means I can wrap this up. So again, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you watched another video. That'd be cool if you did. If you didn't, I get it. And you know what? I don't think I've done this it's been a few videos. So the links at the end of this video will be to other people's videos. Go watch them because they're pretty cool people. Alright, that's going to be it for me. Have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. And come on back some other time after you watch these other guys' videos. Again, trust me, they're good people, right? I don't know which ones I'm going to put up there. I'll figure that out later. But I can tell you for sure they're good people, alright? Take my word for it.